Hello. Wonderful to see your faces and see your names and see people moving around. Ah, so very first thing I'd like you to do today is to take a baseline. I'd like you to just take a baseline of your aliveness. You can do it one of two ways, your aliveness level or your stress level, depending on which one you would like to tune into today. So between 0 and 10, if it's the stress level, 0 would be like, I am just so in the flow, and 10 would be, so, or somewhere in between. And if you're doing aliveness, that would be switched. So if you're what I'd like you to do is just do a body scan, a liveness scan, or stress scan, and then I'd like you to write down your number between 1 and 10 so that you just leave that for right now. One of the reasons I'm asking you to do that is because the kinds of things we practice make such rapid shifts in your experience that sometimes your brain doesn't register that something has shifted. And I think it's important for your brain to know that something that you do with your body can make such a difference for you. So, when just give you a second to do that, and either write it down or just note it for yourself. Because one thing that I would like to do today is to play with breath and movement and so that you can have these three very easy ways to amplify giving and receiving attention. One of the other things that I wanted to kind of emphasize as we're doing our loops and scoops and love in action today is that we've gotten used to fueling ourselves from outside, like looking for the next thing that's going to give us a little hit of adrenaline. And so I want to make that shift so palpable for your body that you know that you can nourish yourself from the inside and that you are completely in charge of nourishing yourself from the inside. And that as you do that, you're creating what I call a different context, the frame, the environment that you live in. You get to build that from the inside rather than looking for something from the outside to fill that for you. So, the big purpose of doing loop of awareness is that you're circulating the very essence of aliveness and you're letting that flow out into the world and you're letting it flow to you. So, what I'd like you to play with is, first of all, letting yourself let's start with the I'd like you to create a through a whole out breath. And I notice that my pitch is a little bit lower than it usually is. So notice what pitch, what high or low note is most pleasurable. You might play around with that for a little bit of a making it a little higher and seeing how that affects your sense of aliveness, or making it a little lower. But the key here is take it through a whole out breath. And I'd like you to play with simply shifting your attention and adding a So shift your attention out to the space around you and add a hmm. And as you're doing that, you may notice that the kind of opens your viewpoint, what you're looking at, what you're experiencing. So, like I noticed two squirrels madly chasing each other around in the front yard. Spring! So I can get that energy and receive that for myself. So now the bringing it back to you. And notice when you add the to shifting your attention, where in you does your attention want to land? And then you could add another to that. Hmm. So what I was just noticing is a whole area in my back, I could actually experience the in it for the first time. I usually experience a in the front of my body, but I noticed, I can feel it around what would be my bra line if I had a bra on, is humming. So for those who whoop, what's she doing there? So adding in the hmm. And even as I'm doing that, with each I feel more deliciousness. And I'd like you to notice what's the impact on your circulating your attention of the And we'll do that for just a minute or so. And you find your own pace. Hmm. So for me, that expands me. I would say, like putting air in a balloon. I feel more space all around me, as well as in me. So notice at a sensory level how the genuinely supports curiosity. Hmm. Now, I'd like you to let yourself for a moment shift your attention from out there to inside you. And I'd like you to do that without breathing very much. Just kind of maybe take in some breath and then shift your attention. And I'd like you to notice what happens to that sense of connection. So for me, it almost immediately drops out. When I hold my breath, when I'm trying to shift my attention, I almost feel as if I've run into like a glass wall. So now I'd like you to just simply add breath. So deliberately shifting your attention and then add breath. And do that in whatever way is most pleasant for you. And then shifting your attention again and adding breath. Beautiful. Now, what happens for me, and I wonder if it happens for you, is when I give attention to myself, I'm more likely to hold my breath when I'm giving attention to myself than when I'm giving attention out. So I'd like you to add a little extra breath when you're giving attention to you. So, for example, your attention might land on your belly, and then you have a critical thought about your belly, and then your breath stops. And you may not even be aware of that sequence because we have such a habit of judging ourselves that that may go on unconsciously. So, what if we interrupted that with an additional breath? So, give attention someplace in your body, maybe someplace in your body that you haven't given attention to yet this morning. And then notice the tendency to hold your breath. Just go ahead and go, oh, yeah, I noticed that. Oh, wow. Because that's the move. Oh, wow, look what's going on. And then add breath. Hmm. So, for a minute or so, I'd like you to play with shifting your attention, adding breath, then shifting your attention again and adding breath and adding breath. So, we have all of these simple elements that add to the power of creating your own nourishment from the inside. Now, the element that if you watch me at all, you'll see me doing all the time is moving. But when we get caught, especially when we get caught out there, I'd like you to let yourself notice something out there. And when I'm really noticing in a certain staring kind of way, I stop moving. I kind of go into a little mini freeze. So notice the way in which you stop your moving. Do you go more toward, heavy and kind of sunk in? Do you pull in towards yourself? Do you just kind of space out and stop moving? So these are all the different elements of fear. Do you get kind of fighty and judgy and get your energy from, look at that thing that's going on out there, where you're stopping moving, but you're moving your judgment out into the world? So, what would happen if you circulated your attention while simply keeping a little bit of movement going in your body? That could be as easy as wiggling your toes or just shifting your body from side to side. Yeah, or having a little bit of movement in your face or wiggling your fingers. And notice how that amplifies the flow, the circulation of your attention. Hmm. And now we're going to do the big three all together. We're going to do breathing and moving and humming. Whoa. Yeah, we could do breathing, moving, humming. Whoa. And then repeat. So letting yourself, whichever one of those, see, one of them might drop out and then you can just pick it up again. So the three of them together, I think, work just so beautifully to increase my circulation of love and attention all day. So, and then for me, always amplifies my breathing, opens up different places to breathe. And when I breathe into those, then my body wants to move. Sometimes I get so enthralled with that that I forget to shift my attention the other direction. So, ah, and letting all of that yumminess that I'm feeling move out into the world and appreciating. Humming opens up curiosity. Breath opens up this deep connection with you, and moving allows all of that to circulate through your whole body and around your body. Beautiful. So, through this week, I want to invite you to play with breathing, moving, with your loop of awareness. And the best place to do that is when you go, something, you'll feel stuck. We usually don't go, oh, I'm in such flow, let me do this so I feel more flow. It's usually like, oh, I'm stuck. And then we look out there for what the problem is. So I want you to interrupt that with adding one and then adding another and then adding three, so that you have breathing and moving. And I noticed that that's actually been a great problem solver for me. So I used to kind of go at it. Like we had a big leak up in our attic. And previously in my life, I would have gone into this, to focused out there and have gotten all freaked out and judgmental about the people who put the thing in. And what I did, I just deliberately let myself breathe and move. And I just moved into the other room and letting myself get present. And then I was able, the people came, they came within a half an hour to help fix it. So lots of support showed up. And so my sense is that this is not just to regulate you, but it's to open the flow of love and support that's always available for us. So let's reach out into all of that you've been circulating, and give yourself a couple of love scoops, particularly into any place in your body that says, ooh, I want a little extra. Like my cat Greta has just discovered the pleasures of flopsies. We have a saying in our house, never ignore a flopsy. When a cat goes over, that means I want to be petted. And Greta has just discovered this. Allie has known this for years, but Greta has just discovered it. And she goes over like a tree. She goes, ka-tunk, and then she lies there. And so she did that 4 times as I was coming in here this morning. And that's why I was almost late. But see how it works out when you never ignore a flopsy. Time has a way of just turning into space. So we're going to continue practicing some of this with our integrity card for today, for those of you who would like to continue and explore.